This Ultimate Beginner's Guide will walk you through everything you need to know to get started on your Blox Fruits adventure. We will be completing the first C in this guide. I'll be sharing all secrets to help you get started. Alright, let's dive right in. It's always recommended to start as a pirate for easier progression. At Starter Island, your first task is to defeat bandits. Gather them in groups to make it easier, as you have enough health to handle them. Repeat this until you level up and move on to the next island. Focus all your stat points on melee. It's crucial for early progress and will help you deal more damage. After reaching Jungle Island, begin with the Monkey Quest. Interact with the Adventurer NPC and take the Monkey Quest. The monkeys are spread out, making the quest slow, but you only need to complete it once. Once you reach level 15, start the Gorilla Quest. Since you don't have a Devil Fruit yet, swimming to reach them will be safe. The gorillas are grouped, allowing you to defeat them more efficiently by gathering them up. While on Jungle Island, step on the hidden buttons to access the Saber Sword and Observation Hockey later in the game. You can easily find these buttons that is at the end of the island behind the gorillas, on a tree near the boat dealer, on top of a stone building near the Blox Fruit Gacha, and under the grass near the stone bricks. At level 20, fight the Gorilla King, the first boss coming your way forward in the game. His only dangerous move is a ground shockwave. Dash away from it and keep attacking without getting hit by him to beat him. Once defeated, farm gorillas until you get level to reach the next island. Once you get to level 30, head to Pirate Village. Here, you can purchase your first fighting style, Dark Step, from a hidden Dark Step teacher behind a door. It costs $150,000, so you may not have enough at this point, but it's important to know for future upgrades. But we don't recommend getting this style, as it isn't great for grinding. Keep focusing on melee points instead of defense, because learning to avoid hits is key for long-term success in the game. Now take on the Pirate Quest by interacting with the Pirate Adventurer NPC, and bring them together to kill it once. You should keep grinding them until you reach level 40. At level 40, start fighting brutes by taking the quest from the Pirate Adventurer. Brutes have a mace attack that causes ground shockwaves, so be cautious. Once you reach level 50, return to Jungle Island to visit the Blox Fruit Gacha and get your first Devil Fruit. This NPC sells fruits once every 2 hours. Look for better fruits like smoke, flame, sand, magma, etc., as they give strong immunity and you won't get any damage from the enemies lower in level than you, making grinding easier. If you're lucky and get a Buddha fruit, eat it immediately. It's the best for grinding across all seas. If you get a bad fruit, you should eat it as well, because having something is better than nothing. You can also buy them from the Blox Fruit dealer at Starter Island. Look for fruits with the elemental tag, and all these fruits restock almost every 3.5 hours. Once you reach level 55, you can challenge Bobby Boss in Pirate Village. He's not too difficult to defeat. The key is to avoid his sword attacks, especially his main move, a large slash aimed directly at you. The fight is straightforward, just bait him and stay alert. When he slashes, hide behind a wall to avoid the damage. Keep at it, and you'll defeat him in no time. After that, keep grinding brutes to get to level 60 to move to the next island. Upon reaching Desert Island at level 60, focus on farming the desert NPCs near the spawn point. Group them up and defeat them, but avoid the other scattered NPCs as they take too long to reach. Even if you have Chop Chop or a Flame Fruit, it becomes easier since sword users can't hit you. Now you can add points in defense until you have 300 GP. At level 90, move to Frozen Village. Here, purchase critical abilities from the ability teacher inside a cave. Follow me to get to his location. Firstly, you should consider getting the Aura or Hockey ability for $25,000. Then get the Air Jump for $10,000. And the last ability to learn is Flash Step for $100,000, but at the moment, it is optional but useful for later. As far as quests are concerned on this island, you should focus on the Snow Bandits as they're easy to group together and you can easily beat them. Keep grinding them until you reach level 110. Once you reach level 110, take on the Yeti boss. His main attack is a ground slam, similar to the Gorilla King, but with a bigger range. Keep farming the Yeti boss and the Snow Bandits till you get to level 120. At level 120, head to Marine Fortress to farm enemies and acquire your first accessory, the Black Cape. Follow me closely to locate the Parlous NPC inside the tower to buy the Black Cape accessory for $50,000. It boosts your health, energy, and damage by 5%, making it a universal item for grinding. For farming on this island, the Chief Petty Officers are pretty simple to deal with. I recommend grouping them in one place and then killing them. This method is really easy, even with the Chop Fruit, as you don't have to worry about their sword attacks, which makes it quite useful for now. You can grind them until you see yourself at level 130. At this stage, allocate your stats based on your needs. If you need more defense, invest there. If your damage is low, boost damage stats. Avoid putting points into sword or gun in the first sea. You can reset stats later on as well, so it's not a big deal. Now it's time to take on the boss of this island, the Vice Admiral. He's a fairly easy boss to defeat. If you're having trouble finding him, go to the server tab and switch to another server. There's a good chance he'll already be spawned there. His main attack is a sword dash, and the trick to winning is to keep your distance since his dash can deal significant damage. As soon as you see the blue dash coming, dodge it and you should be fine. You can farm this boss and nearby NPCs until you reach level 150. Next, we're heading to the Skylands. The first quest here is to fight the Sky Bandits. The tricky part is that they're located on a lower island, so it can get frustrating to go down, complete the quest, and then climb back up. To make things easier, set your spawn point at the home point NPC. Once you finish the quest, simply teleport home, grab the next quest, and jump back down to continue farming. Group the Sky Bandits as you've been doing, but note that the enemies in this area are more spread out, so grouping them will take a bit longer. Keep grinding until you reach level 175, or 177 if you're using a Logia fruit. This will give you a solid boost for the upcoming challenges. Next, we're going after the Dark Masters, which are easy to locate on a nearby island. Make sure to set your home point near the quest giver as usual. Once here, group them up and take them down efficiently. Keep grinding until you reach level 190. By this point, you should be close to accumulating $500,000, which is great because you'll need that for your next fighting style. Once you've saved up $500,000, go behind a rocky area and you'll find the Mad Scientist, who teaches the electric fighting style. This is a significant upgrade, as the abilities are much stronger and will make combat and boss fights significantly easier. Be sure to take advantage of this new fighting style. The next location is the prison, where you'll encounter 3 bosses, the Warden, Chief Warden, and Don Swan. Keep farming here until you reach level 210 or accumulate $500,000. Farming in this area can be a bit frustrating since you can't group up the enemies like before. There isn't a specific trick for this spot. Simply gather a few NPCs, defeat them, and repeat the process until you reach your goals. Another important thing to note here is that if you want to get rid of a devil fruit but don't have another to replace it, there's an NPC who can remove it for $50,000. However, it's not recommended to use this option. Instead, wait until you find another fruit and consume it to replace the old one. This way, you can ensure you always have a fruit equipped. Now take the dangerous prisoner quest from the jailkeeper and grind them until you get to level 220. Now it's time to put your new fighting style to use by taking on the Warden Boss challenge from the head jailer. He spawns every 5-10 minutes and is fairly easy to defeat. Focus on dodging his attacks, especially with the electric fighting style, which makes this fight a breeze. Keep battling him until you reach level 230, and then move on to the Chief Warden for your next challenge. The Chief Warden is tougher, but not by much. He hits harder, so watch out for his close-range attacks. Be patient, use electric to your advantage, and you'll take him down without much trouble. Keep farming the Chief Warden until level 240. At level 240, you can finally take on Don Swan. He has some powerful AoE attacks, so avoid getting hit by those. Once you've learned his patterns, he's easy enough to beat, especially with electric style. After defeating him, keep farming this area until you hit level 250. Once you get that, you're ready to move on to the Colosseum. Before you start farming in the Colosseum, it's important to get a Logia fruit. If you haven't gotten one from a random spin yet, go buy one from the Blox Fruit dealer. Even if you don't use it for attacks, the passive effect of Logia will make grinding much easier. In our case, we own a dough fruit, which is also a Logia fruit. At level 250, the Colosseum enemies won't be able to damage you if you have a Logia fruit. Keep grinding until you're ready to move on to Magma Village. Now you've reached Magma Village. Be cautious here, as the enemies have a 50% chance of spawning with Haki, which allows them to hit you, even if you're using a Logia fruit. Farm the military soldiers and military sepoys until you reach level 350. Group the NPCs and farm them as you did in previous areas, but be mindful of their flash step ability, as it can catch you off guard. Additionally, make sure to save up $750,000 to purchase Observation Haki, as it will be very helpful for your upcoming challenges. Now it's time to encounter Magma Admiral Boss. This boss is straightforward, just avoid his Magma Fist attack and you'll be fine. After beating this boss, keep farming on this island until you get to level 375. Once you've reached level 375, it's time to move on to Fishman Island. At Fishman Island, you can stick with the same strategy. Group up the Fishman Warrior NPCs and take them down in threes. Be cautious of their ranged attacks, but overall, this area isn't too challenging. Keep farming them until you reach level 400. Here, you can also opt for the Water Kung Fu style, which is arguably one of the best styles available in the First Sea. Follow me closely to locate the Water Kung Fu teacher hiding in a wall. We won't recommend getting this style if you hold the electric one, because the journey to unlock it can be lengthy. Also, if you are looking to save up for the instinct. Now, once you reach level 400 and equip a Logia fruit, farming these commandos becomes a breeze. Head over to the farming area and gather all the enemies together. Just grind them until you hit level 425, which will unlock the boss fight. Now it's time to take on the Fishman Lord boss. To begin, provoke him and then run over to a window. As he approaches, you can hit him through the window without worrying about his attacks. He does have two forms, but you don't need to stress about them. He won't be able to land any hits on you. Just keep an eye out for his occasional attack and stay focused. With this strategy, you'll defeat him in no time. Next, you need to return to the jungle area to acquire Instinct, which is the observation hockey in Blox Fruits. First, head down the hole and grab the fire torch. Once you have it, travel to Desert Island. Now go to the broken house and walk through the door. Once inside, burn the door with the torch, as I already did. Now, collect the cup. Next, we'll head to the frozen area, where we originally got our aura and flash. Enter the cave again and fill your cup under the dripping icicle. After that, make your way to the house behind the sword dealer of the East NPC and give the cup to the sick man. This will help you progress in obtaining Instinct. Next, head to the pirate village where you first hit level 50. Once here, follow my lead to find the rich man. He'll tell you about the mob leader extorting him, and you'll need to take revenge for that. Now follow me to the mob leader's location. The mob leader is pretty easy to defeat at this level, so don't worry. Once you've beaten him, head back to the rich man to receive the relic. Now, it's time to return to the jungle. Once you arrive here, find the stone building where you first got your fruit from the gacha. Here, you can unlock the door through a little keyhole to encounter Saber Boss. Here, you might need to server hop a few times for him to spawn. This fight can be a bit tricky due to the small room, but he's not too hard to kill. After defeating him, you'll receive the Saber Sword as a reward, and now be ready to obtain Observation Hockey. To get Observation Hockey, you'll need to climb to the Sky Islands. To do this, follow my path carefully. Jump across the trees or use your electric style for some distance. Now, enter the temple, find the arrow, and jump down the hole to teleport to the Up Island. Follow the roots of the massive tree to the temple. Now climb the temple to the top to find the Instinct Teacher. Interact with the teacher to learn Instinct for 750,000 Bailey. Once you have Instinct, return to the Skylands 2 farming area. If you're using a Logia fruit, farm until level 458. Group the enemies and defeat them together. Grind the enemies to reach level 475 to move ahead. When you reach Skylands 3, follow the same strategy. Gather the enemies and take them out. You'll need to be at level 483 for the Logia effect to work here, so be patient as you farm. Once you hit level 500, you'll face the Whisper boss. This boss is fairly easy to defeat, especially if you have Observation Hockey. Just be cautious of his bazooka attack, and you'll have no trouble taking him down. Continue farming in this area until you reach level 535, but remember, your elemental or Logia fruit won't have any effect during this period. At level 535, your Logia effect will activate, making farming much easier. Keep at it until you reach enough level to fight the next boss. At level 575, take on the Thunder God located at the end of the island. The fight is straightforward. Just dodge his attacks and make use of your instinct ability to stay safe. Keep farming him until you reach level 635, at which point you'll be ready to move on to the next area. In Fountain City, farming the galley pirates will help you improve your level on this island. If you have a Logia fruit, avoid the captains since they can hit you despite the Logia effect. Focus on grouping the gallery pirates as best as you can to farm efficiently and level up quickly. Now, the final boss of the first sea is the hardest bosses in the game with two tricky abilities, the bullet attack and a massive AoE farting attack. Defeat him to get to level 700. Once you reach level 700, you'll be ready for the second sea quest. To go to the second sea, head to the military detective at the prison island. After talking to him, you'll be directed to the frozen village. Go into the cave, use the key to unlock the door to Admiral, and defeat him. Then return to the prison for your next task. Now interact with the same NPC again, and he'll ask you to speak to the experienced captain in Middletown. Once here, find him outside the yellow building near the docks. Talk with him, and you'll be moved to the second sea. I hope this video helped you get a better understanding of the game and gave you some useful tips to level up faster.